Thanks to the support as a channel member, Kyle Mack. Big away game in the Carabao Cup against Premier League opposition today. Just the kind of game that gets an up-and-coming lower league manager noticed by bigger clubs if it goes well, which, after the rest of the start of our season hasn't gone very well, might not be the worst thing in the world at this point. Hello and welcome to part 21 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we are away against Southampton in the League Cup, and we've also got a league game away against Mansfield. We've only played one game since the last episode. We were actually winning it as well, thanks to a goal from Spasov at home against Carlisle, but unfortunately, a late penalty gave Carlisle a point, which means 2 games in. We're not panicking yet, but 2 games into the season, we're down in 21st place in League One with just a 1 point from the first 2 games. It's very unfamiliar territory for us. The media still thinks we're relatively safe for a mid-table finish, and hopefully we will be, but normally when you're new to a league, you take the good club atmosphere and dressing room atmosphere and all that kind of stuff and the morale from getting promoted and use that to take the new division by storm, knowing that once everyone figures you out, you start to fall down the league. I'm worrying that the FA Trophy final loss was the first hammer blow to us, and then not winning our first couple of games of the season, followed by a game away against Southampton where we're almost certainly going to get absolutely battered. That's them 3 difficult games on the bounce. If we then go against Mansfield and don't win, I worry a little bit that our morale might be in trouble. Mansfield are expected to finish below us in the league, so hopefully, regardless of what happens against Southampton, we can go there and pick up some kind of result. Spasov's still scoring, which is one positive that we've got, and we're going to need him to. 5 goals from 3 games so far. He's pretty much the only player in the squad who's turned up so far this season. Alfie Gilchrist probably has something to say about that. He's also had quite a good start at centre-back, having joined us in the summer from Chelsea. But we need to play well against Southampton, even though we know we're going to get beaten. And I have seriously considered going to a 4-3-3 and just trying to defend, but talked myself out of it on the basis of even if we defend, we're going to lose. Whereas if we attack, we've got the chance of grabbing a goal, and that in itself could be a confidence booster. You're going to get to see Kean Breckin for the first time in this game as well. He made his debut in the Carlisle game. Nothing spectacular yet, but you know, his career here is still very young at the moment. Hopefully there'll be spectacular stuff in his future. So the team for this game, we've got Vitek in goal, a back four of Dodgson, Mayunga, Gilchrist and Lavinia, Fox and Benson in midfield, McKendy, Breckin and Stanley behind Spasov up front. So let's get into the game. Let's hopefully do the unthinkable. I don't think we get the revenue split in the Carabao Cup that we get in the FA Cup, which is a little bit unfortunate because, you know, we're all about accumulating the cash here at Kettering at the moment. But at the very least, it should be a good experience. There's a chance to play at a Premier League ground for a lot of these players, and you never know. They could put out a reserve team, and we could surprise everybody. I'm trying to get a proper look at what their team actually is, but Breckin's got a breakaway on here. He's played Spasov in. Spasov's one-on-one with the keeper, apart from that defender, so like one-on-two, we'd probably call that. He was down to the last defender, forces the save. We've got an early corner. It's going to be Benson to take, looking for an in-swinger on his left foot. Mayunga's there and he's hit the crossbar. What a start to this game from us. We've had a good chance and now we've had a header off the bar. We've started very, very brightly. I'm obviously not a Southampton expert, but I'm looking at that side thinking I don't recognise many of these players. Obafemi up front, I know is a player who in my Twitch save was getting loaned out to League One clubs. So I would assume, unless he got a very big upgrade when the full release of the game came out, it looks like Southampton are putting out a rotated side, which does give us a little bit of an opportunity. Probably still not a very big opportunity, but a little bit of an opportunity. Mayunga with the challenger, a little bit risky. I thought we might have given away a penalty, but we do end up getting it clear. Breckin looks very big. I'm not sure how tall he is, but he looks enormous. And that's a goal. What, is that a goal? I think it's been disallowed, actually. Everyone's looking at the referee. McKendy's got his arms out wide saying, never a goal, ref. Come on now. Have a proper look at it. And the goal has been disallowed. 20 minutes on the clock. It's still Southampton 0, Kettering 0. Looking around the ground, there's not much of an attendance, is there? I'm kind of glad we're not on a revenue split for this one when nobody's turned up. Some very good social distancing going on there with the Southampton fans. This is one thing Football Manager might need to work on for 2022. When you have a half-empty ground like this, in my experience, fans still bunch together because you want to sit with your mates and you also want to sit somewhere where you get a good view. I don't think we're all that allergic to people that we're going to go and sit in the corner rather than on the halfway line if the ground's practically empty. Likewise, behind the goal, people accumulate into the middle towards the back. I'm something of an expert at being in half-empty football grounds, as you can tell. So do that, Sports Interactive. Do that. Although I guess this is more of an accurate representation of real football grounds now. So maybe don't do it yet. Do it in a few years' time when everything's back to normal. Right, 0-0 at half-time. This is more than we ever could have hoped for. And now we've got the opportunity in this second half to just, you never know. We could nick a goal. We're actually ever so slightly ahead on XG. Neither team playing particularly well, but there's far more pressure on Southampton to go out there and find a goal in this second half. Vitek to Gilchrist, and now Mayunga. Mayunga plays it forward, looking for Connor Stanley, who's dropped deep here. Stanley does well, looking to release Spasov, but it's actually a pass that would have been better suited for an on-rushing Connor Stanley to chase, but he was the man playing the ball in the first place. Spasov again back to goal, but turns nicely. He's got McKendy there supporting him, but plays it all the way back to Dodgson. It's back with Spasov again. McKendy's come into the middle, as has Spasov, but the ball is cleared, but Mayunga just clears it straight back again. Benson back to Fox, who's spraying it forward, looking for Connor Stanley, who's in a crossing position. Cross comes over. Spasov drops deep. McKendy, I think, is offside. He does have the ball in the back of the net at a Premier League stadium. It's almost certainly going to be disallowed. But we're playing well. We've not got Alfie Payne in the side tonight because Fox might be better than him. Fox and Benson might be my partnership. As much as I love Alfie Payne, Fox might end up at right back. Who knows? He wears a number 2 shirt because the quick pick squad thing thought that he was going to be right back. I guess it's what's allocated in the number 2 shirt. I'm so sad. I choked a little bit on what our goalkeeper's just done there. I need to have a sip of my coffee. That's hideous. We're not having a lot of luck with goalkeepers yet this season. There's already the second one we've used. And Vitek's going to be very, very disappointed with himself there. And we're all disappointed with him too, because we've played so well and he might have thrown it away. Long throw into the area. Not very effective. It ends back up with Benson. McKendy back to Fox. Fox chipping it over for Connor Stanley, who's in here, and Stanley scores. And it's an almost immediate equaliser for Kettering. Connor Stanley with his first goal of the season. He's scored against a Premier League team. It's Southampton 1, Kettering 1. What character we've shown here with an immediate reply. Beautiful pass from Fox. Not good for Alfie Payne, seeing Fox playing such an excellent assist to Connor Stanley, but Stanley is in, and it's 1-1, and that is a beautiful thing. And it's back with Vitek. Please don't do anything dumb. Oh my word, it worries me now. McKendy now on the left. If he can beat his man, which he can, but he then kicks it too far and tries to do the slide tackle before he's actually given the ball away. That was proper non-league stuff from McKendy. It was beautiful. But that's a ball through from Stanley looking for Breckin, who couldn't quite get onto it. Breckin, I don't think is fully match fit. We might need to look into taking him off, maybe bring Alfie Payne on, push Benson further forward for the final 15, 20 minutes. And Southampton have scored an actual goal this time. No one can be to blame for this one. In my mind, it's 1-1 and we're still playing very well. And because we're not going to talk about what Vitek did, or specifically didn't do earlier on when he should have saved a very simple chance. But I mean, there's nothing we can do about this. They're a Premier League side. Yes, they're playing their reserves, but they're a Premier League side. And we've done well to push them as far as we have. Right, I am going to check in on Breckin. Yeah, I think Breckin does need to come off. We're going to bring on Alfie Payne, and we are going to do that change. Payne, I think Payne might be more suited to box than Fox is. Box to box, Fox to box. I like the idea of that. We're going to have a Fox to box midfielder. Fox to box or box to Fox? We might have to play him alongside Payne, is the moral of this tale. And we're going to take off McKendy as well. And we're going to bring on Whittaker for McKendy. And that will do for now. We'll give Benson 5 minutes, maybe 10. Otherwise, we're going to bring on Ashley Seal to play up alongside Spasov for the final few minutes and go to the 4-2-4. But we will, I'm not going to demand more, but I'm going to try and fire the boys up, I think. I think that's reasonable. Nothing's happening. We've got to go attack. We've got to go for it. We have to go for it here. We'll take off We are going to take off Box to Fox, and we're going to bring on Ashley Seal, who I think this might be his debut. Spasov can be the pressing forward because Ashley Seal is an advanced forward. Is he not even a striker? What are you? How are you only a 2.5-star player? And actually, you are a pressing forward. So let's make you a pressing forward on support, and Spasov can continue being the advanced forward on attack. And fingers crossed. Cross everything, boys and girls. We've gone attacking. We're going for it. We're trying to get back into this game. It's been a heroic performance for us. Now Stanley's got sent off, and that's ruined everything now. Come on, ref. We're playing against the Premier League side. Cut us a little bit of slack. You don't need to be sending off our goal scorer and one of our main threats. We're going to have to stick Ashley Seal out onto the right. That was a long-lived 4-2-4, wasn't it? He's going to go out there as a winger. Spasov's going to carry on being the advanced forward that he usually is when he's up there. And I think that was probably our lifeline disappearing from us there. 2 minutes left. It's Southampton with a corner, basically in a throw-in position. With a throw-in basically in a corner position is what I'm trying to say. I'm so upset. I can't even remember the rules. And Southampton VTech's missed that one as well. Or did he push it onto the post? It was either poor or a spectacular save. I might give him the benefit of the doubt for that one. But they are camped out on the edge of our area now. 2-1, I think, is respectable. To be fair, 3-1's respectable too, especially when we've gone down to 10 men. We've played well here, and hopefully we can take this into the Mansfield game and use it as a platform to build on, having put in such a good performance in this cup game. Ashley Seal trying to put some pressure on the Southampton defender, but doesn't really get anywhere near him. There's going to be 5 minutes of added on time. Dare we dream? The dream's about to stop, isn't it? Yeah, there's Michael Obafemi. And that's 3-1. We don't need these 5 minutes now, ref. Can we all just pack up and go home? It's a long drive back to Kettering from Southampton. We can't afford a hotel. We're on the bus. Come on now. I've got my lovely big Kettering house to go back and sleep in. Well, it was fun. That's my assistant manager is saying at 3-1 down with 3 minutes left, because we're down to 10 men, go very defensive. I don't think he's got the idea of how I do football yet, as my new assistant manager. I'm not that disappointed, but I am quite disappointed. Few changes then for the Mansfield game. There's some tired boys off the back of that match, plus after what VTech did, it's 1-1 for Howlers between Brzezowski and VTech this year. So Brzezowski's back in goal, and we've got Chambers coming in at left back, Skinner at right back. We're dropping Breckin back to play in central midfield with Alfie Payne coming in alongside him. Finnegan comes back into the side to play in behind Spasov, and then it's Roos coming in on the right-hand side with McKendy keeping his spot out on the left. I don't know what my best team is at the moment. We signed a lot of players this summer, and I don't know who's better than who yet. So we're doing a lot of this at the moment, a lot of changing the team quite drastically from match to match as I try and figure out what my best team is, which I know is not the best thing to do when you're trying to get out of a sticky spell. The best thing to do, especially with a lot of new players, and I know all this, the best thing to do is to pick an 11 and stick with it for half a dozen games so they build some familiarity and get used to playing with each other. But despite knowing that down here, where I pick the team in my lungs, I'm just going to do what I do and we'll figure it out. And McKendy scored. So perhaps McKendy's a Football League quality inside forward. Who'd have thought? His first goal of the season, we signed him to be a backup striker. And he has been I would imagine over the last year, he's played at least as many games as anyone else, if not more games than everybody. He's just Mr. Dependable. He's never man of the match. He never scores a hat trick. He's never going to be a 20, 30 goal a season striker or a 20 assist guy. He's just there. He's a Danny Welbeck. He's just there. Yeah. If you don't focus on him closely, you won't realise he's not really doing a lot, but he also doesn't really do a lot wrong. So we've got our own Danny Welbeck, and it's lovely. Spasov down the left-hand side, and he's crossing it. There's no one really there, although Roos has suddenly turned up, and Roos scores. Connor Stanley, watch your back. Shouldn't get yourself sent off, because suspensions happen, and players come in for you. And Marco Roos, coming in on the right, has got his first goal of the season now. We're 2-0 up against Mansfield. This is exactly what we were hoping would happen. we'd take what happened against Southampton, draw the positives from it, and use it against Mansfield. And that's what we've done. And it's beautiful. Mansfield 0, Kettering 2 after 25 minutes. Let's just not mess it up from here, boys, because we could really do with getting this. I'm looking for a cliche, a phrase. I haven't got one. We want to win our first league game. That's what we're trying to achieve here. And is that a prison behind us? That's probably the gate to get into the football ground, isn't it? It just looks like prison gate, prison. That looks like an Oyster card thing. Do you need an Oyster card to get into Mansfield Prison? Because that looks like that's what's going on in the corner of this ground. Roos now on the right-hand side. He's already scored one. He's playing very well today. Roos trying to get the crossover. He has won us a corner. And has he won us a corner? Apparently it's a goal kick. I'm going to need someone to explain how that's a goal kick and not a corner. He kicks it into their player and it goes out of play. I don't think it's gone back in to hit him again. We need to be questioning the referee there, I think. So if we do manage to hold on to this lead, this looks like it gets us up into mid-table. And mid-table would be a perfect first season in the Football League for us. And I think that would be the kind of performance that would attract attention from a bigger club, unless I decide to stick around to experience the new ground. We'll call it the ground that Kev built. Spasov's made it 3. 3-0 to Kettering, 6th goal of the season for Spasov. I hope he wants to stick around for the new ground as well. For as long as I can get Spasov here, I'll stay. I'm not committing to that, and he shouldn't commit to it either. But I am enjoying my time at Kettering, and I'm interested. It's a very different take on non-league to legend this year because they've really calmed down the offers coming in from other clubs. I still haven't had a single offer from another club, but I'm quite enjoying. In my head, I've kind of got this plan that I'm going to take Kettering as far as I can. And as soon as we hit one of those ceilings that you hit, rather than having 3 or 4 years of rebuilding to break through the ceiling like you do on a road to glory, maybe that's the point that we move on. But possibly not before. I don't know. We all know that as soon as I get an offer from Bristol Rovers to double my salary, I'll be off. I'll walk to Bristol. But it is enjoyable doing it a little bit differently. Hopefully you're enjoying the series taking a slightly different shape to usual, because some people have occasionally said it's always the same. Well, it's not the same this year, because here we are in the Football League with a team that started in the National League North. That's different to what we've ever done before, and it's awesome. Right, we are all over Mansfield here. Finnegan takes it down nicely. Roos is really making an argument for getting into this team on a more regular basis as well. He's one of those that's kind of accidentally survived. I actually tried to loan him out when I loaned out the batch of everybody else. We loaned out like that half dozen, maybe more players that were fairly regular players for us last year. We just loaned them out to save on the wage budget, and we did offer Roos out at that point, but no one wanted him. So on that basis, he's still knocking around the squad. And on this performance, I imagine he's going to get a little run of games now. So Roos might have stumbled into a more important role in this setup off the back of no one wanting him and me kind of randomly rotating to try and figure out who my best players are. There's no point in rotating to figure out who your best players are if when someone comes in and plays well, you don't play him again. That's some very poor defending there. Is that Chambers or Breckin that it's hit the back of? I don't know why Breckin's all the way back there. I know we are playing him in a defensive central midfield role today, but he's not really cut out for this job, I don't think. He's chasing Chambers. Chambers, I don't know what he's doing. Between the two of them, it's awful. And I think we probably need to make some changes. Gilchrist is shattered. Gilchrist has played every minute of every game so far, and he has been probably the best player in all those games, but he looks done. So I think we're going to take him off and bring on Reece Bennett. Mayunga also tiring. We do have Skinner who can play centre-back, but he's only little. I don't really want to change both my centre-backs. So Mayunga's just going to have to stick it out. And I think I am going to take off Breckin, who's really not built for that role that he's playing in today. Although the only midfielder we've got who can come on is Max Robson, who really isn't built for that role. Finnegan theoretically can play there with his tackling of 7. To be fair, Breckin with his tackling, his tackling is 10. That's a little better. But we are going to bring on Robson, and we're going to put Finnegan back there, and we'll do that. I think we might put Alfie Payne into that role, who also only has a tackling of 10, but we know he can do that role. So stick Payne in there. Finnegan can be the box-to-box midfielder. Robson can come in to facilitate the front three, all of which have scored in this game. It's a very attractive shape, seeing a goal next to all three of our front three. But this is what I was saying before about McKendy, by the way. He scored a goal today, still only on a 6.9, and now he's picked up an injury as well, so we'll take him off. It's another opportunity for Barry McKay, who has not impressed in the couple of games that he's played so far, but I'm not ruling anybody out yet. As you've seen with the goalkeepers, nobody is getting ruled out of contention at this stage of the season. We are learning who's good and who's not, and everyone will get multiple opportunities. So McKay gets another opportunity today, and Roos to Payne across to Finnegan, back to Payne again, and now Skinner, who is getting closer and closer to being a right back as I continue to force it. Although he's not quite the attacking force we'd hoped for, although he's done quite well there. Cross over to Roos, who I think Roos has dummied that across to Spasov. I'd like to check this on the replay, but I think that's a step over from Roos that's led to Spasov grabbing the goal. Unless Roos has just tried to kick it and missed. We'll have a little look again. So Skinner did do quite well. Here comes your cross. There's Roos. No, he didn't even get anywhere near. I'm imagining a step over because he's having a good game. I'm trying to make myself look clever. Look how good this player I've plucked from our reserves is. Skinner now with the big throw, but it's straight into the hands of the Mansfield goalkeeper. But at 4-1 up with 6 minutes left, I think it's safe to say we've got our first win in the Football League. That being said, Mansfield are in, and Brzezowski makes a lovely save, tips it up onto the crossbar. His positioning was maybe a little suspect, but he's made up for it with a decent save, and we've got away with it. And the ball is clear from the corner. Spasov is first to it, and he's on a hat-trick, of course, and would very much like one, I imagine. He is racing down the left-hand side, plays it into McKay, and there is an option in the middle. I'm not sure who it is. Roos was there. I think that's probably Robson as well. Is Robson number 7? I imagine Robson's the one who's going to be charging forward as the attacking midfielder. Alfie Payne not had the best of games today. He's the only one, really, who I'd be disappointed with the performance of, which is, it's a little bit of a worry. Like I said, we've got a lot of good central midfielders now, and Alfie Payne is going to have to continue to justify being in the team. McKendy's going to be missing for a few weeks now. Reece Bennett's made his debut, and Spasov's still scoring goals for fun. Lovely stuff. Right, tomorrow's video, we'll get through some games now because we've not made much calendar progress in the last 3 or 4 episodes. We've kind of gone from the last days of the season in May to August. It has taken us 4 or 5 episodes. So let's push forward calendar-wise. I was going to say geographically. That's not what I mean at all. Maybe to sometime in mid-October. I'm certainly not going to show you any Papa John's nonsense. We're out of the League Cup. So we'll just pick a couple of interesting league games somewhere in October and be back with them tomorrow, hopefully, with us sitting nicely in mid-table. That would be the plan. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.